What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Steve and this is Tech Teardown. Last week I released my review of the Ryzen 7 3700X, which I compared to my i7 8700K Intel processor. A lot of you took issue with my review, and rightfully so. There was just a lot of low scores on my i7 8700K that needed to be addressed. My Cinebench R15 score was getting only 1200 points, and that's what I was getting. A lot of people accused me of being an AMD shill, or I was manipulating results to make Intel look bad. That was not the case. I just made just a really noob mistake, something I know better. I know what I'm supposed to do. Just slipped my mind when I was doing my review. And I apologize to all of you. I have let you down in my first major launch review on this channel. The channel's only been around 6 months, so this is my first time doing a major launch like this. So I do apologize. There's no excuses. I'm going to tell you what I did wrong and give you some updated results. So once I started getting all the comments flooding in telling me that I've been manipulating results or my results are terrible, on my i7 8700K, I took to testing everything over again, and I just kept retesting and it kept getting the same scores. Like, what did I do wrong? Tried new memory, everything. Finally, it dawned on me, I never installed the latest chipset drivers. I was on stock chipset drivers on my Maximus 10 code motherboard. So I installed the latest chipset drivers and retested everything, and finally 200 points higher on Cinebench R15, several points higher on Cinebench R20, Firestrike and TimeSpy, all higher. Now, my gaming results did not change. I retested 2 of the games, Grand Theft Auto 5 and Hitman 2. All of the results are the same on those 2 games. I didn't test the rest of them, but those 2 games, the results are exactly the same. So I'm going to go ahead and do some of these results on camera for you. Test Cinebench R15 and Cinebench R20. Then, because it takes so long, I'm just going to give you guys the results on Firestrike and TimeSpy on camera and compare them to what I was getting on my video results to show you how much of a difference these chipset drivers made in my performance. And I actually am really glad this kind of happened. Yes, it was kind of embarrassing that I have to make this video, but I think this is a great learning lesson, not only for me to make sure I have a checklist of things I do when I'm doing a review like this, but a lot of new PC builders, they just think they might have to update their graphics card drivers and they're good to go. There's more to just graphics card drivers. You have the chipset drivers, your BIOS, everything. There's several different drivers you have to download in order to make sure your computer is up to date and running up to spec. So I really hope that this video will help you guys and show you what a massive difference something like a chipset driver can do in performance. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start running Cinebench R15 here with some hyperlapse, get a couple runs in and show you guys how it performs. Switch over to Cinebench R20 and get some of those tests burned in. And then we'll go ahead and compare the results that I had in my video to the results I'm getting now, and then we'll wrap up the video. Alright guys, so I've had a couple runs here. My highest score so far, which was actually my first run, was 1432 CB. So we're going to run one more here on camera and see what we're getting here on Cinebench R15. Again, this is the i7 8700K. I have a 32 gigabyte kit of G.Skill Trident Z RGB RAM 4x8. It's 3200 megahertz speed at CL16 cast latency. So this is looking like a pretty good run on Cinebench R15. Let's see, we're about to get our score. And that was 1417. So not as high as my first result, but still 200 points higher than what I was getting in my video, which was 1222. So let's go ahead and switch over to Cinebench R20 and show you guys those results. Alright guys, so I just finished a couple runs on Cinebench R20, a couple normal runs, and then I did a single core run. So far 3,467 on the multi-core, single core, 494 points. And now that is right now 400 points higher than our Cinebench R20 results that we had in my review of the 3700X. So still, this chipset driver is making a world of difference in our Cinebench scores, made a world of difference in our Firestrike scores, definitely more than our Time Spy results, but still an uprise in points on the CPU score side of things on the Time Spy and Firestrike. And you'll see that here in a moment. So this chipset driver made a world of difference in performance here with these synthetic benchmarks, but did not make a difference in gaming, as I said earlier. Everything was within the 1% margin of error. So Cinebench R20 here running pretty well, but that single core, that is just so hard to watch. It's like watching paint dry, watching a single core try to take on Cinebench R20. But this is a lot better when it gets to use multiple cores and threads here. But I hope this video shows you guys I'm not trying to make one team look better or worse than the other. I mean, Ryzen is still beating the Intel i7-8700K, but they're really not the most comparable processors, since one is an 8-core and one is a 6-core, but they are pretty comparable in price. All right, so we just finished that run, and that was also 3,461 points, which is 400 points higher than what I got in my video. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it back up on top, and we'll wrap up this video, guys. All right, guys, I've just finished running all my Cinebench scores, and as you can see, I did a lot better now with these updated chipsets and getting the points that I know that I should have been getting here in the review. I just did not notice them when I posted that review. So I do apologize sincerely, and I hope you guys know, again, that I'm not trying to manipulate any type of results, just a really new mistake on my end, and it won't happen again. So I apologize, and I hope you guys can trust me here in the future for my reviews. Not trying to manipulate anything, just made a mistake. But here are the results in Firestrike and as well as Time Spy compared to the results I had in my video. And you can see this chipset also made a difference in the CPU score and the physics score in each compared benchmark. So this is really interesting data here, and just reinforces that I think this video is a great learning experience, not only for me, but for any of the new system builders out there that might not know that there's more drivers that you have to install, and make sure that you're keeping that chipset driver up to date. Something I've always known. I mean, my Ryzen 7 3700X, I did have the latest chipset driver on that motherboard, which was the Crosshair Hero 7 Hero, from ASUS. So I did download and install the latest chipset drivers when I built that system up for the test bench. Just completely slipped my mind here on my Z370 board. So this time I know in the future to have a checklist of everything I need to do for when I am doing benchmark results, make sure everything is up to date and evenly matched, which I did try to do in my initial review. As I mentioned, I had to retest the 8700K multiple times because I was forgetting things. I forgot to update Windows to the 1903 update, because that's what the Ryzen system was built on. So I completely reinstalled Windows with the 1903, or updated Windows to the 1903 update, and retested every game and every benchmark with that 1903 update, just to make sure that all my results were comparable to the Ryzen 7 3700X. Just that chipset driver it's kind of embarrassing, because that is something I know to do. I will make sure that is something on my checklist here in the future. If you guys made it this far, I do want to thank you so much for watching the video and sticking with me as I learned this YouTube thing here. Just started here in January, 6 months. I'll be celebrating my birthday tonight, so I won't have my normal Friday video. But again, thank you for watching, guys. And if you want to subscribe, that would be awesome. If you liked this video, give it a like. If you didn't like it, that's fine. Just let me know what I did wrong, and I will try to correct that in the future. We'll see you guys in the next video.